I am back with this week's energy readings updates. So I am still experimenting whether this is sustainable for me or not, but while I'm doing that, let's try another week and see how it goes. I'm actually happy with the last updates that I did. I expected those videos to be completely dead, but few people checked out the videos from my threads and Instagram, so it's not all a waste, and I was able to give a lot of context for the cards, which is something I feel like is always missing on my text reading posts. So overall I feel like it's positive and I would like to continue, but we'll see. So today's first reading, I have not decided yet who will be the first sign whose reading I will do. So let's just ask the spirit who's going to be the first sign. Okay, so we got water signs again. So I think it was the water signs last time as well. Okay, maybe water signs need a little bit of extra attention, and I think I have a lot of water signs in my collective because I always get the most amount of engagement, likes, everything on water signs readings. So to clarify, as I always do, this is not astrology, this is all channeled energy reading. I only use elements and signs or zodiacs to divide the collective in manageable groups to make the readings more relevant for each group. And what was I going to say? I forgot while I was saying it. Oh my god, seriously. Anyway, if I remember, I'll let you know. So yeah, these are channeled readings. And yeah, okay, so I was going to say my collective. So who is this reading for? This reading is for anyone who follows me on any of my social media, and if you have been guided to this video in on your own. So these are the people who this guidance is meant for, and it's timeless, so it is relevant whenever you see it. So the best way to use these videos is focus on something that you need an answer for, and then look out for your sign in the video. It will most likely get answered. Okay, so let's start with water signs. I don't have a question in mind. This is how I always do things. I simply pull the cards. Spirit will tell us whatever we need to know about the water signs. So sun, moon, and rising, you can listen for yourself, or you can listen for you can cross listen for someone who is a water sign that you're interested in. Either way works. Okay, so let's see. Ooh, we're starting with the devil. I feel like this is going to be one of those scolding videos. Okay. Okay, so water signs. I do not know how you will understand this, because your guides seem really frustrated with you, because there are some patterns here, some negative ways of being, ways of thinking, which keep on coming back. And the reason they keep on coming back is because you are very tightly tied to your fears. So the only way to shift out of frequency of fear is the frequency of love. But that's the problem, because you love very deep, you're afraid of the love that you experience as well. And most likely you already have a person you experience deep love for, or someone who experiences deep love for you, and that probably is the source of this fear as well, because I have the moon card here for the fears and with the devil. So essentially what happens is, it's such a vicious circle of you wanting love, or you wanting to give love but being afraid of everything that happened or could happen or will happen, and then you shift back into the energy of fear, in the frequency of fear. So it just keeps going in a circle, right? And it's a frustrating circle, because it feels like you're making progress, but then you jump back into the same pattern because it's been difficult for you to shift out of that frequency of fear. Because anytime someone tries to love you, or you try to love someone, your focus is always, what if this person does this to me? What if that happens? What if blah? What if blah? What if blah? So there is a serious hesitance in loving simply for the sake of loving unconditionally, loving just because it makes you feel happy, or it makes you, however the way you feel, without actually wanting something from the person in return, without making it transactional. And the reason you want it transactional is because you want that safety, that security, right? If I love this person, I want them to love me back as well. So there is that energy coming up here. But you have to understand this. The true freedom comes from unconditional love. Even if it's someone who loves you back, you always have to have that sense of freedom in loving someone for simply loving someone simply because you love them, not because they'll love you back, not because they'll treat you a certain kind of way, not because they'll do something for you. And so it's very important for you to understand this, because without understanding this, you cannot shift out of this frequency of fear, because the fear arises from all these illusions that if I love someone, I will get hurt, or they will hurt me. If I love someone, they won't love me back. If they won't love you back, so what? You still love that person. You still experience love. Your ability to experience love is not tied to that person responding to you. So you really have to think about your ability to love, simply to love. It's an infinite resource that you have. So you don't need to tie it to actions of other people. And it's really important to learn this way of thinking in order to shift you out of the frequency of fear into the frequency of love. And you have to understand this. If you are sending unconditional love into the universe, why would that unconditional love not come back to you? However, in order for that to happen, you have to release all these fears about being betrayed, being cheated, being somebody doing you wrong, and clutching your heart so hard and not really allowing love to flow freely. Love is something that belongs to you, only to you. Your ability to love is not controlled by the world out there. Your ability to love is controlled by you, and you can love freely and you can love unconditionally without attaching any requirements to it. And that's your true power. True power comes from that kind of unconditional love, and feeling that love and knowing that I am free. I can love someone with all my heart, and I can still be out there in this world and live whatever life I want to live. I'm not compromised by this love. I'm not codependent on this love. I'm not suffering because of this love. So this is something you have to understand, because last energy reading also I got the healing card for you, and I got it once again. So this is where you're moving in circles and you're not able to move on from this specific thing that you're stuck on, which is okay. We're all experiencing some kind of patterns that we are repeating again and again and trying to learn. So for you, this is the thing. For earth signs, maybe it's something else, but this is where you need to focus on, right? Because we have the hermit for inner focus, inner wisdom. It's not like you don't know that you have the ability to love freely, to love unconditionally, to love without boundaries, because that's when you resonate with the divine frequency, right? And you have experienced it. You have experienced how freeing that is, how fulfilling that is, how peaceful that is. But then the mind starts speaking and the ego comes back, and when the ego comes back, all the fears come back, and then you are just like, I can't do this. I can't experience love freely, because what about this, blah, 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 these 20 different fears I have to take care of these fears. So that's the main energy coming up here. about what you need to work on, and let's draw more cards and see what we have going on beyond this. Yeah, so the next one is trust in your journey. Trust in your spiritual journey. You are a spiritual being. You do get spiritual downloads. Your guides try to connect with you. They give you all these signs. They come in, or you know, you get dreams about certain messages. It's not all in your head. You are experiencing all this, you know. You owe it to yourself to believe in the experiences that you're having, because if you don't believe in yourself, who can you expect to believe in you, right? So believe in your spiritual journey. All this is happening for a reason. All this path of healing, all this path of, you know, all these lessons that are here to give you the platform to you know, remove everything from your path that hinders your self-expression. All this is happening for a reason, so that you can live a life where you're truly fulfilled, right? What's next for water signs? See, so I have the reversed star. So don't be afraid to start over or renew yourself as many times as it takes. Don't take life too seriously. All of us are going to leave this world dead. Nobody is going out of here alive, right? So don't be so worried about what will people think, what have I lost, what I didn't do, what I did do, what happened in the past, blah blah blah. Don't be afraid to start over. Start over your life, start over things with a particular person, start over the way you associate with yourself, whatever that means, right? Don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. Don't be afraid to reinvent your relationships. Don't be afraid to reinvent your identity. Don't be afraid to reinvent what really matters to you. So don't attach too much meaning to life, you know. Oh, I spent 5 years doing this, it doesn't make sense for me to give up on it. Why not? If it doesn't make you happy, just give up on it. Who cares if you spend 5 years on it? Think of life as chapters. Nobody is living life as one big, you know, lesson. It's all tiny chapters. Once a chapter is over, it's done and dusted. It's out of the system. So now focus on the next thing. So don't think of life as this big chunk of, you know, birth to death, because that just skews our perspective. That's really not how life works. Life is a connection of many different chapters, and there's lots of endings and lots of beginnings. So it's never too late for you to give up on something that doesn't make you happy, doesn't make you feel fulfilled, or doesn't align with you, or to start something that makes you happy or that calls to you, or to make amends, or to you know, do the thing that you always wanted to do, but for whatever reason you were not able to do. So don't be afraid to be unconventional, is really what this star is saying. Don't be afraid of all these different paths. Explore them and see what's in there for you. Let's see if there's anything else for you. Ooh. I feel like there's a lot of, in my collective, there's a lot of twin flames or divine union couples in water signs, because I always get this energy whenever I'm doing reading. So I got the lovers just now as well. Excuse me. So when I said previously, don't be afraid to start that thing that you know, if you feel like you dropped the ball on something, or you really regret something, it didn't turn out the way it did, and it weighs heavily on you. So if there's a person like that you really dropped the ball on, don't be afraid to make amends, because you know, you have one life. Why do you value ego? Why do you value image? Why do you value fears? Why do you value failure so much over love? If you're imagining, what if this person rejects me? What if they're angry? What if they don't talk to me? Just imagine, what if they do talk to you? What if it all works out? What if they're waiting for you as well? What does that life look like? So why do you have to think about the negatives? Why not think about the positive? What if everything does work out for you? How does that look like? Or this is a person who maybe dropped the ball on you, and they want to make amends, but you're like, no, 10 years ago on Tuesday 2:15 p.m. this person did this to me. I have it all written down here with all the receipts. I'm not going to forgive them. I will obsess over them 24/7. They are on my mind, they are in my heart, they are in my soul. I love them with all my heart, but they did this thing that I cannot forget about, so I will not give them a chance. Well, who are you hurting? Is that really working for you? Is that really working out for you? Just let that go. It's not really helping you. It would be one thing if you just moved on and you found someone who is the right person for you. But if you still love this person and you still want to be with this person, but you are creating all these barriers to this person's re-entry in your life because so thing happened in the past, and there is no opportunity for them to make things right, how would that manifest for you? So you have to pick your lane. You cannot manifest something in the present while constantly living in the past, right? So either you release that or things will not move forward. So this is most likely a twin flame, right? And you can be angry with your twin flame, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't do you any good to negate or to ignore the purpose of why these connections do what they do. They have a spiritual framework. There's a lot of illusion that happens in twin flame relationship for the purpose of the growth for the runner or the spiritual twin flame. And the journey is designed to be that way. So it doesn't help you to sit here and hold on to that thing. This person did this to me. Yes, but what was the bigger lesson? You know what the lesson was, right? It was something to do with you not loving yourself, and they were reflecting it back to you. It was something to do with you ignoring yourself, and they were reflecting it back to you. So what I'm trying to say is, it would be one thing if you did not understand the dynamics of your connection, of your spiritual connection with this entity. I would not call them a person, because twin flame, yes, they are a person, but more than that, they are a spiritual entity here with a very specific purpose to help you ascend to your highest timeline. So it doesn't help you to stick to those narratives of lower timelines where you say, oh, this person did this to me. You know exactly why they did the thing, and this is not to condone anything. If you truly feel like they wronged you in a way which is unforgivable, move on and find the person who is right for you then. But also the point here is that don't forget the spiritual lessons that came through this person. Thank them for all the contributions to your life. Maybe you wouldn't be here if all those awakenings did not happen. You would still be suffering, you would still be in pain. So sometimes when we are operating from the ego, we take a lot of joy in staying miserable, thinking about all these past things because we want to punish the person for doing whatever they did. But that's not coming from a place of love. That's not the need of the soul. That's the need of the ego. And it's really important to separate the two, if the connection matters to you, that is, right? I think we are at the end of the reading. And yeah, so the same thing, Spirit is saying, it's time to release all the past heartbreaks. It's time to release it. It's not helping you to carry all that pain into the present and the future, because you keep constantly recreating it into the present timeline and into the future timeline by constantly bringing it back from the past, because it doesn't exist anywhere except in the memory that you're creating again and again. So whether or not you want to release this pain depends entirely on you, right? Yeah, It's the same thing. Whether or not you take this offer depends entirely on you. Whether or not you accept this love depends entirely on you. Whether or not you are willing to let go of living from fear and embrace the vibration of love to truly live a fulfilled and authentic life depends on you. You have the free will here to choose the life, to choose the experience that you're going to have in this life. So that's something for you to remember. Yeah, that's it for this week's reading for water signs. I hope you can focus on this and maybe journal some points that came up for you in regards to the specific pattern that's going on and what you can do to bring it to light and release it with love. I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Okay, bye now.